Hello, my name is Jared Oxader.
And I'm Robert Arguelles.
And welcome to Kaijudo 24/7. Today we're doing the set review of Shattered Alliances, and we'll be covering the Water Civilization, starting with Angler Cluster. It is a 4-drop, 5k, blocker, guard. We gave it a initial value of nil, meaning it'll be valued at whatever commons are valued at for the set, and a playability of 0.
I mean, it might be cool in sealed or limited. Aside from that, it's not really playable.
Yeah, the guard makes it not proactive at all. It has 0 tribal support right now. There are no Undertow Engine specific cards to make it better, so all he does for you is sits back and chills or unlocks blue in your mana. So playability is 0 for that guy, unfortunately. Next up, we have Aqua Reflector Nomulus. He's a 6-drop, 2k, blocker, guard, frontline recon. When this creature enters a battle zone, you may draw a card, and liquid armor. If this creature would be banished, return it to your hand instead. We gave it a value of $1.
Pretty much playability 1. It's overall not very impressive for 6. You'd rather do a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could definitely argue maybe a 1.5 because you could play it after you drop a Panopter and the next turn you drop 2 cards, but he's just so small, he doesn't swing into anything. He is an Aquan, which is another plus, so you could put the Evo from Clash on top of him and get in there with some unblockable shields once you're ready to go on the offensive, but
overall, he's pretty underwhelming.
Yep. 1 and 1. Next up, we have Bladeflesh. Bladefish, 3-drop, 2k, vanilla creature, meaning no abilities, no special deals, just is what it is.
Very basic. Again, if you're tuning into our scale, or if you haven't heard it before,
Right.
0, not playable at all. 5 being the most playable, almost insane, gotta have it kind of card.
Yeah, definitely. Eventually would be a staple, so something you would want to have as we move forward in new sets. So this has a value of nil, nothing, whatever a common is priced at, and a playability of 0. No bonus over playing this guy as opposed to playing like a Cyberlord Core or some other relevant card. But he is a Trench Hunter. I guess if you're into flavor, that's the same tribe as Rusalka.
So,
but playability is 0. Moving on. 2-drop, 1k, Cyberscamp.
I don't know about you, Jared, but I really, really like this card. So
Yeah.
I hope everybody's really listening here.
Yeah, this card, only ability. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, search your deck. You may take a creature named Cyberscamp from your deck and put that creature into the battle zone. Then shuffle your deck.
He is a Cyberlord, which is amazing.
At 2.
At 2, nonetheless. So if they Bone Blades do any type of removal, you're going to get another one out of your deck.
Yep. They're very, obviously you could have already mana zoned one, or you could have one stuck in your hand, but...
Or have one of your shields. But aside from that, it gives you a guaranteed way to evo your creature.
Right, yeah. Especially, it gives you technically a fast attacker if you are playing Emperor Neuron, which is the Cyberlord Evo. If you just drop that for 2 and then the Evo for 3, it's just like boom, boom. You can get in there and sometimes steal the win with that guy. So we set this card at an initial value of 10. It is only a rare, but we feel that it is
going to become a staple.
It does so many things. It does so many things that there's no way people are not going to want to play this if they're playing blue, or even think about playing this.
If they're playing Cyberlords, you have to play 3 of in your deck, and it's a very, very good card. I mean, as far as the deck goes, you need to have it if you're playing Cyberlords, and that's why it's a playability of 5.
Yeah. This is I would compare this to Manatic.
Or Hive Queen and Megabugs even. It's a thing that's deck specific, but it's still very, very good.
Yep, so we gave it a value of 10 and a playability of 5. Moving on, we have Deep Mind Probe. 3-drop, Shield Blast. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Put 1 of them into your hand, 1 on the top of your deck, and 1 on the bottom of your deck.
It kind of reminds me of a Magic card.
I can't think of the name of that. I didn't play it far back, but
yeah. It's a really cool ability. It's a Shield Blast. Like you said, you look at the top 3, put 1 in your hand, 1 on top, 1 on bottom, so you can know what's coming up in your deck. Set that up. As far as playability goes, not too much. They're about a 1.5. I'd almost rather have a logo scan and just guaranteed draw 2 cards.
Yeah, I think Brute just like this isn't technically netting you a card.
Yeah.
So the logo still beats it out. It does have Shield Blast. That's what I think. That's what kind of pushed it to the 1.5. I could maybe see this as a 1 or 2 of, maybe. Just like people were running the spy missions just because it had the shield blast and it was a logo scan, but it cost
again,
more. So
there's more spells I'd rather play, thus giving it a 1.5 on the playability.
Yep. Alrighty, next up we have Finbarres Dread, 8-drop 6k, double breaker, first ability, Data Nexus. When this creature enters the battle zone, you may draw 2 cards, and Regeneration Chamber. Each time one of your other creatures would be banished, return it to your hand instead. Overall,
we put it at a value of $5, a playability of 3.5. Drawing 2 cards is usually really good.
Yeah, a note on the value. I think I would actually argue like 5 to 8. I think if the Kalima deck we've seen a lot of hype about gets big, this is actually pretty good because it keeps your creatures, and it is a replacement effect too. So if your opponent has anything that triggers on your creatures being banished, it actually won't trigger.
Very true.
Yeah, it won't hit because they'll just go to your hand instead. So we give it a value of 5. I would argue 5 to 8. A playability of 3.5 because this dude,
he's drawing 2 cards. I mean, that's good.
He's netting you a card. He's positive pressure. He's pretty good at a top end, I guess, of a mid range list.
Yep.
I mean, if you got some aggressive creatures out and then you stick them on turn 8, now all of your creatures are just not going to.
And again, it gets around the Queen Kalima, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like this card. I don't know if it'd ever be a 3.
I don't know if I can find a home for it, but I inspire you guys to. I think it's got some potential.
Definitely. All right. Next up, we have Phase Scout, who is a 3-drop 2k. First ability, Portal Hop. This creature can't be blocked. And second ability, Trailblaze. Whenever this creature attacks, choose one of your other creatures. It can't be blocked this turn.
Initial value of $1.50.
Yeah, it is an uncommon, but and a playability of 2. And the reason it gets these values, especially for an uncommon, is because it fits so well in Megabugs.
Yep. Or not even that. Even that blue-red rush deck, if someone can get a good brew with that, it's unblockable, and it makes one of your other creatures unblockable. So that does have some potential there.
Yeah, it sets up your turn 4 I win pretty well. Another thing to note is it is an Aquan. There's that Aquan Evil that is unblockable. I really wish we had more Aquans, and we're getting a couple now in this set, so I might be fiddling around with that guy.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
I think he's good bait for him. So playability 2, value about $1.50. Moving on to Recon Mission. 2-drop spell, no shield blast. At the end of this turn, count the number of tapped creatures you have in the battle zone and draw that many cards.
A value of about $1. Playability of 2. I think its card has a little bit of potential like the last card. You can play it in a blue-red rush deck, draw a decent amount of cards, maybe even play it in Megabugs, draw a couple extra cards. I think it is slightly better than Logo Scan in the right decks, so thus giving it a playability of 2.
Yeah, playability 2. I mean, if you're playing an aggro list and you swing in and you hit a Stormspark Blast, if they wipe your board afterwards, but you had played a Recon Mission that turn, you're not like completely just dead in the water top deck mode. You've got more juice to try and push out and apply pressure. So yeah, playability 2, value of 1 for an uncommon. And now we're on to the super for blue in this set. King Albaran or Albaran, I'm not sure, but he's a 7-drop 7k, so good efficient pricing there. Double breaker.
He is a Leviathan.
He's a Leviathan. Forecast. At the start of each player's turns, look at the top card of your deck. You may put that card on the bottom of your deck. Oh, each of your turns. Each player's. I misread that. Each of your turns, look at the top card. You can put it on the bottom if you like. Second ability, Water Spout. Whenever you cast a spell, you may return target creature that is the same level as that spell from the battle zone to its owner's hand.
I think this does have some playability. Leviathans did just win the champs. We put an initial value of 18 and a playability of 4. I think it will have some homes. I mean, being able to look at the top card of your deck every turn and choosing to put it on bottom is a very, very good ability. Forecasting, knowing what is coming up, is very, very relevant to every decision you make in Kaijudo.
Yeah, a lot of our cards in this, I've noticed a few cards in this set that kind of act like enchantments in Magic, where you just kind of put it in play, and if you don't want to apply pressure with it, you don't have to, because it's going to have an effect that triggers on some part of your turn.
To help you get ahead.
To help you get ahead. So I think with the support that Leviathans has already, this card is definitely something to take a look at and try and brew around or with or fit into the Leviathan control. I'm actually a little bit excited about this card. You could argue that the stipulated water spout ability, where it has to be the same exact level of spell you cast, isn't really that great, but
there's such a range of spells. If you cast the Tritonus, you're going to have every single range of spells to cast.
Yeah, and just like the Dreamland curve would be like turn 7 King Coral, turn 8 this guy, rebounce whatever they tried to replay, turn 9 they try and stick something big, and then you cast something and bounce it, and then like it's just, and you're setting up your draws each turn when he.
So you're just slowly getting further and further ahead.
Yeah.
But again, a value of $18 and a playability of 4.
Yep. So that's our set review of Water from Shattered Alliances. If you agree with any of our values or our playability on a 1 to 5 scale, go on and let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, go ahead and move on to the next video on the playlist. Or if you've seen this last, then there you go. It's a whole set review. I'm Jared Oxader.
And I'm Robert Arguelles.
And we'll see you later.